Hey family, welcome to the Wisdom Became Her Sip and Chat. I am your host, Jen. I'm so happy that you're here. If this is your first time being here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Why? Because you already family. Grab you a cup so you can sit down, and if you are a returning family member, you already know what to do. Grab your tea, cheers it up, and let's get to sipping. So today's chat is inspired by one of my many meditations that I had with the Lord. And this one I feel like is very important because we hear all the time about authenticity. You need to be your true self, It's definitely easier said than done. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of us are out here not even knowing who our true self is. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out here think that they know who their true self is, and believe it or not, that's not their true self either. So I wanted to go ahead and give you my journey into authenticity, okay? And it started out with a simple conversation I was having with the Lord. So I was sitting with the Lord one day, and a question was posed. The question was not who you are and what do you like to do, which is normally how our conversations go. He went from a different angle. He came at the angle of, what do you not like to do? And for a second, I was sitting there like, Of course, we have these long lists of things that we don't do. So as I started picking apart my list, I got to this one, and it was about makeup. So I told the Lord, I was like, I don't do makeup. I just don't do it. It ain't for me. It takes too much. It is too much. Now, there is definitely a lot of truth in that. I'm a fitness girl. Y'all already know I be posting my fitness content. I don't play by my weights. Because I work out very often, I don't see the need to put on makeup and then go sweat. It don't make sense to me. Not to mention I get hot, so that's another reason why I don't wear makeup. You'll never see me in a full face beat because I'm just not doing it. Unless it's a really special occasion and I have yet to find it. So when my wedding day comes, I'm gonna be looking like a storer, but okay. So these are my many reasons as to why I don't wear makeup, but the main reason why I had it was it's just too much. I'm not doing all that. And for those who speak to the Lord, you already know the Lord is not a man of many words, especially when he's having conversations. He says what he needs to say, and he just leaves it there. So it went from why not, and now I had to talk about the why nots. Oh, that's too much, and I gotta put all this stuff on, and I'm not gonna be out here looking like all these girls putting all this stuff on. I have to take it all off at the end of the day. And even got to the point where I said I don't like makeup, right? But meanwhile, I like me some lippy and stuff like that. And I don't play in it too much to know if I really like it or not. So I really had to sit back and think about it. And I was like, well, do I not like makeup? Is that really how I feel about it? And it took me back to a thought of my formative years when I first tried dabbling in makeup. Now, the people who were in my inner circle at that time made it a point to make me feel like I had no idea what I was doing. Now we talking 13, 14, never did it before, don't have anybody to teach you. Of course you don't know what you're doing. That's just how it goes. Like even nowadays in 2025, you go into Sephora to get your face beat to the nines. You paying an actual makeup artist to come and put your makeup on if you really want to get dolled up for an event, right? So this is like become a thing. It is literally art now, which I love that. So I had to really think about it, like how I was made to feel like because I did not know how to do it, I was made to feel like I couldn't even learn. Oh, you just shouldn't wear makeup. Oh, that's not for you. Oh, that's not your color. Not tell you what your color is, tell you what your color ain't. But one thing I do remember was even though I was being told what wasn't good, how much I needed to learn, and oh, you don't know what you're doing, the way that I chose to do makeup was very, very different from everybody else. Very different from everybody else. So my idea of putting makeup on was very, I want to say flamboyant. It wasn't putting on foundation or any of that stuff, which I didn't need, which thank you for making me feel like I couldn't put on makeup, because me not wearing makeup for all these years has your girly face on silk press. Thank you for saving my pores, because had I been doing makeup since the 90s, so that was very big. The other thing was I was very authentic with the way that I was back then anyway. I've always had a high level of authenticity. I like what I like. I don't care who likes it with me. If I like it, I'm okay with liking it alone. That's my thing. I don't really care, if anybody else does it differently. I feel like everything should be different. I don't want to be like anyone else. Even when I buy shoes, I don't buy shoes that I see on somebody else's feet. I buy shoes that when I see like some shoes that really stand out, I want them, and I'm hoping I never see somebody with them. That's just how I operate. So I've always been one of those one-of-a-kind type people. I like what I like. In the 90s though, it wasn't like that. Everybody wanted to be like somebody else. They wanted to be like Aaliyah. Somebody wanted to be like Eve. Everybody wanted to be like a rapper. Everybody wanted to be like someone else, and they were modeling their life after that person. And I was still very much an individual. I liked what I liked. Being that authenticity wasn't something that was on a high at that point. I pretty much had to go a lot of years with people trying to beat the authenticity out of me. I'm talking about made to feel ashamed. Oh, that's how you're gonna dress? Oh, that's what you wanna wear? Oh, you like those shoes? All the time. All the time. To the point that I had to just ignore it. Or go the other route, which was like what I like in secret. And just know that it's a me thing. And not have to explain it to anyone else. So where I was not a follower of the way that the world chose to portray themselves, I became a hermit hider of myself very easily. And I mean, it carried on all the way into adulthood. Excuse me. Ooh, take a sip. So, being that I was made to feel like I could not enjoy the thing without having someone make me feel like I was doing it wrong, I just stopped enjoying it. Stopped completely. I don't need it. If I can't do it the way that I want to do it, I don't need it. Right? So I had to sit with that a bit. And the reason why is because one of the things you got to understand about when the Lord poses a question to you, there's actually two things you need to know. The first thing is when the Lord poses a question, he's not posing a question to you to get an answer for himself. Remember, the Lord is omnipresent. He already knows the answers. He knows why you don't do something or why you do something. He knows the traumas behind it. He knows everything. He's been there from day one, right? So when the Lord asks you a question that needs an answer, it is for you to discover a hidden aspect of you, or to discover that you have a thought pattern that might be corrupted. And that was very much the case there, because I didn't realize the link between me not doing the thing and being made to feel like I couldn't do the thing. It wasn't until I sat with that question and realized that I don't actually have an issue with makeup. I actually love when I see people who know how to do makeup. For me, it's art. I'm an artist. I draw, I dance, I sing. I love it all. I make beats. This is what I do. I'm all about the arts. So when I see somebody who's really good at something, I love it. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. So for me to feel like it was something that people needed to understand was too much happening, it was only because I had that literally beat into me from very young. Being told that I don't look right. Being told, oh, it's not going to help you anyway. Being told that ain't your color or you should just stop. To be made to feel ashamed. Again, I grew up in the 90s. When we talk about in the 2000s, talking about, oh, you have a light that shines brighter than anyone else's, or it makes people feel uncomfortable, you shine a light on their demons. They didn't know nothing about that in the 90s. So me being who I was, shining the way that I was, made a lot of people uncomfortable. And I mean from very young. I'm talking 7 years old, I used to make people uncomfortable because I was just always knowledgeable. I always knew enough about me that I could care less about anything else. And that's just how I rolled for a very long time. Now, coming to the understanding that my issue wasn't makeup, my issue was the way I was trained to feel about makeup, I had to reassess. I had to understand that a lot of areas in my life were like that. It went from the way that I chose to dress. It went from the way that I chose to do my hair, the way that I spoke. I was told, when I would speak that, oh, you speak too white. I didn't know what that meant. It was just said in a way that made me feel like it was negative. So I was like, well, maybe I should speak less. So I began to get really quiet. I didn't express myself. When I did express myself, you're too opinionated. So now I won't just tell people my opinions, because apparently my opinions get backlash. I pick a certain pair of shoes. Why you want those shoes? Okay, I guess I'll get the shoes everybody else getting. And I didn't realize that even though I wasn't a follower, having it beat into me that any choices that I made were considered negative had a very negative effect on the life that I chose to live. I stayed away from people. I chose not to give my input, even though I knew my input was always valuable. I always knew how to improve someone else's life, just in a conversation. It was always a gift. But I always knew that not everybody was ready to receive it. And most of the time, because of the community that I grew up around, most of them were not ready to agree, not ready to face themselves, to see how things could be different if they changed how they viewed it. So it was very uncomfortable growing up, but for that part right there was necessary. I needed it to be uncomfortable because I needed to be one of those people who just refused to be around those who I didn't have a vibe with. If you don't catch my vibe, that's okay. I ain't for you. I just ain't your cup of tea. Cheers. Now, like I said, now I've begun picking apart all the areas of my life. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, what am I doing that isn't quite me? And now this was a question that took me, of course, months to spiral into. What is me? What is my thing again? I now have to figure out how I feel about it. So I started to assess how I felt about all things I came in contact with. And it helped a lot because I went from thinking that I didn't like all these different things to realizing that I don't have to like something 100% in order to say I like it. I could like something 10% and that'd be okay. And it's just the 10% that I want. I don't want any more of it. Where I like to put on some lippy, maybe some liner. And I definitely love my gold twinges. I'll put gold everywhere because that's just me. I don't like foundation. I don't need it. I don't want to have to put on concealer. I don't need it. I didn't want to have to do those things, so I won't do them. And now, do I like makeup? Yeah, I like it. But I like what I like. And that was my journey to authenticity, is to understand that you can like what you like. And that's okay. Why? Because it's your life. God made you an individual. So individualize it. I'm gonna leave this one right here. Hopefully you love this video. Definitely subscribe. I need more family members. And comment. Talk to me. I want to talk to y'all. I want to know who y'all are. Drop something down that's authentic about you so we can get a chat going. On that note, love and light and peace.